Printers, printing devices. The device that outputs character string data onto paper media is a printer. Are the following characteristics for the output from a printer. The data of the processed results can be saved in a form that can be seen. Data can be output in the form of invoices and ledgers. This makes it easy to adapt it for office processing systems. There are two principles used for printing characters with a printer. One uses mechanical power and is called the impact method. The other does not use mechanical power and is called the non-impact method. Many kinds of printers have been developed using both methods. In addition to the printing principles in the illustration, printers are also classified by the printing output method. They are classified by whether they print one character in order at a time, one row at a time, or one page at a time. Here, we will follow the printing principle classifications to look at each kind of printing method. One, impact printers. A printer that uses mechanical impact by striking or hitting an ink ribbon to print is an impact printer. Since impact printers use mechanical impact to print, they are noisy. However, those for use with PCs are of simple structure, so they are inexpensive. They also have the characteristic of being able to handle carbon sheets, etc. To make duplicates, 5 to 6 pages. A. Serial printers. A printer that prints one character at a time in order from the margin of the printing row like a typewriter is a serial printer. This structure is simple so it can be made inexpensively. It is used in terminal devices, etc., where printing volume is low. Serial printers that do not use fixed character sets, but which use combinations of 24 x 24, 32 x 32, 48 x 48 dots to create characters to print for each printing location are dot printers or dot matrix printers. B. Line printers. A printer that prints a row, one line, of characters at a time is called a line printer. It prints much faster than a serial printer. A line printer was used a lot in the past for general-purpose computers. However, recently this type of printer has been replaced with a page printer. A line printer using dot matrix is the same in principle as the serial printer using dot matrix. However, a line printer has multiple heads. Two, non-impact printers. A non-impact printer is different from a line printer and a serial printer because it does not use mechanical impact to print. There are many systems of non-impact printers. The following are some of the typical ones. A. Laser printers. A printer that stores one page worth of print patterns in memory and then processes it all at once is called a page printer. The electrophotographic system uses the same principle as a photocopier, and uses a very fine black powder called toner for printing. It has the characteristics of being able to use regular paper, quiet operation, being able to print at high speed, high printing quality, and being suitable for image processing. The laser printer is a representative of electrophotography. It uses a laser beam to print. With the recent reductions in prices, these printers have come to be used by individuals and not only in offices. The printing principles are shown in the illustration. When an electric charge is passed through a photoconductor drum, it uniformly charges the photoconductor surface. And after applying light corresponding to the data to be printed with the exposure part, the charge for only that part is allowed to escape, creating the image to be printed. Next, in the developing section, toner is stuck on, and in the imprinting section the toner is imprinted on the paper. After which heat and pressure are used to fix it in the fusing section. Next, after the charge has been removed from the photoconductor, it is cleaned and the operation is repeated. The unit that expresses the performance of laser printers is the ppm, pages per minute. It is the number of pages that can be output in 1 minute. It is used in catalog descriptions, etc. Printers for PCs that can print at 40 to 50 ppm have appeared on the market. There are printers that have a specialized processing device, processor, to convert print data into actual print patterns and that have memory to store print data from the computer in order to print at high speed. Laser color printers are widely used today. Using PCs, laser printers, etc. to create printed materials is called DTP, desktop publishing. One of the things developed to get high-quality output of characters and graphics for DTP is PostScript. This was developed by Adobe Systems in the US. Printers that follow this standard can produce high-quality output that does not differ from what is produced by a printing company. B. Thermal printers. Other than the laser printer, there are the thermal printer and inkjet printer as typical types of non-impact printers. There are thermal printers that use thermal heads that generate heat from electricity which change the color of thermal paper. There are also thermal transfer printers that use a combination of a thermal head and a film ribbon. They are low in cost and quiet in printing. C. Inkjet printers. An inkjet printer sprays electrically charged ink particles through nozzles. Those extremely small drops of ink are deflected by the bias voltage between the electrodes, and printed onto paper to create a text or an image. There are two printing systems. In the continuous system, ink is always sprayed out of the nozzles and the unneeded ink is collected for reuse. In the on-demand system, the amount of ink needed for printing is sprayed out of the nozzle. The one that is most widely used with PCs is the on-demand system. It uses elemental devices that are transformed by electric charge. There is the electromechanical transformation type that sprays ink out after pressure is applied to the ink chamber. There is also the electrothermal transformation type where air bubbles created by heat from an electric charge spray the ink out. Regular paper that easily absorbs ink, paper that has not had its surface specially processed, or specialty paper that is glossy can be used. Printing is quiet. The printer can also be made small in size, so it has become a major product for personal use. Color printers. A color printer has become common with the popularity of the inkjet printer. It mixes the four ink colors of CMYK, cyan, magenta, yellow and black, to produce 7 colors, 8 if white is added. In order to increase the expression of gradation intensities for picture and image output, some of the newer printers have also added lighter color inks in addition to these 4 colors. Printer resolution. Printer resolution is expressed in units of dpi, dots per inch. It represents the number of dots that can be printed per inch. Inkjet printers that can print 1440 x 720 dpi and laser printers that can print at 1200 dpi have appeared. Fonts. There are various shapes of characters such as Sentry and Courier in the characters we read. The character shape is called a font. The font traditionally used in PCs for display or for printing is called the bitmap font. A separate bitmap font is needed in order to print characters that are different in size. In contrast to this font, a font in which the dots that express the outline of the character are connected with smooth curves is called the outline font. outline stick of making the jagged edges, called jaggies, unnoticeable when they are scaled up or down. Recently, the OS has been capable of handling the outline fonts. It has become possible to use the outline fonts that do not produce jagged edges with all kinds of software. TrueType is also a type of outline font. It was developed by Apple Computer in the US and provided to Microsoft in a supply of technology. However, processing a lot of characters takes time. Because of this, using the fonts that the printer already has as standard fonts, system fonts, for printing may shorten processing time. Six. Network printers. The time for printing out documents created on PCs in offices is usually short. The idea of using a few high-performance printers for multiple PCs came about from this fact. Printers that are used in this way are called network printers. They are widely used on LANs. A network printer processes and outputs data that is sent from multiple PCs that are connected to it. There are even models with functions that can separately support data that is sent with different rules, protocols, and output it. There are also those that allow the user to change paper sizes or output conditions from his or her PC without going to the printer. Recently, those with photocopy and fax functions have also appeared.